Hello and welcome to Rosberry Crafts, my YouTube channel where I share all my crafty adventures. Today is July 5th, 2021, and it's been a month since I podcasted last. So let's hope there's not too much to talk about today. Today I have what am I wearing, finished objects, works in progress, events, and some chatter. I want to say thank you to any new subscribers and welcome back to those of you that are returning. My name is Roz and I live in Lake Country, BC, Canada. It's kind of near Kelowna. If you know the wine country, the interior wine country, yeah, it's all around me. I live with my husband and my two kids who are 11 and 9. I had to think about that for some reason. Whew, it's been a month, guys. It's been a month. Not in a bad way, but just a lot going on. So let's get into it. Let's start with the weather. So last week, we had a high of 49.5 degrees Celsius. It's like 120 something. I can't remember exactly what it is, but very, very hot. We do not normally get those temperatures here. Not even in the heat of the worst summer have we ever had those temperatures here. So that was a little crazy. All of BC basically was under like a heat warning for about 4 or 5 days. And it was crazy. It was crazy. You couldn't go outside because it was so hot. Like you'd walk outside and you'd immediately start sweating. It was so hot. Unfortunately, with that hot weather, it means that there's a bunch of wildfires that have started in the area. A couple that are pretty close to civilization, none that are close to me though. However, with the direction of the wind and because we live in a very long valley that basically goes from the US border all the way up to Kamloops, we are inundated with smoke. So not only did we have a heat warning, directly following that, we now have an air quality warning, which is typical for the summer. We often get that here. I kind of gauge it by like how many levels of mountains I can see from my front window. If I can see like the mountains that are across the lake, then, you know, it's okay to go outside. If I can't see those mountains, it's not okay to go outside. There's been a couple years where you could barely see the house across the street. So it's not bad yet, and many of the fires are well in hand, and the firefighters are working hard and to get everything sorted. But tis the season. That's enough about the weather. When it's that hot outside, you don't wear hand knits. So today, I don't have any what am I wearing. Sorry. I haven't even been wearing much recently. I did wear my little shorty wool socks a couple times probably, but I can't think of much off the top of my head that I have been wearing. I need to make myself some like cute summer tops or something. That's what I need to do. However, I do have finished objects. My first finished object is my flax sweater. So I'm calling this Flax and Tweed, and it is done, guys. It's done. The ends are woven in. It just hasn't been washed yet. But I did try it on. I'll put in a picture because I did try it on. It does look a little kind of, you know, floopy because you gotta wash it at least once before you wear it, I find, just to get everything kind of just so. And it is an acrylic yarn, so I will be able to washer and dryer it. I made it extra long, so it does look extra long, but I did that on purpose because I want to wear it with tights and I want it to go over my bum. I did the split hem, so when you get to the ribbing at the bottom, you just figure out basically half or a little bit shorter than half on the front, and you knit just back and forth, and I just did the 1x1 rib, same as everywhere else. And then the back I do like a couple inches longer. If I hold it up this way, you can see. So And like I said, it needs a blocking just to kind of even everything out, but I am super happy with it. Yeah, sleeves are done, ends are woven in, everything is done, done, done. I will probably won't wear it until like October, but you know, the knitting is done. So let's go over the details. The pattern is Flax by tincanknits. And this, I did this one in an Aran weight yarn, but basically with the pattern, all you need to do is gauge swatch and then figure out what size would be appropriate with that many stitches. I generally take the widest point of my body, take that measurement, figure out how many stitches would be based on your stitches per inch number from your gauge swatch. I'm not explaining this very well. Okay, so take your gauge swatch, figure out your stitches per inch. Then you figure out what your widest circumference that you want. Often that's your bust if you're female. So then you know, based on your gauge swatch, if it's however many inches around, you times that by how many stitches per inch. Then you find the size that at the chest point would have that many stitches. So if it's 205 stitches, then you find the size that is based on that number of stitches. And then you can just figure everything else out from there. So figure out that way you can just do it with whatever yarn you want. tincanknits does have a flax and a flax light. So between those two patterns, you can basically knit this with any gauge of yarn. Yeah, I'm super excited about this. I'm so excited, you guys. I'm so happy that I finished it. It was such a good project. So much just like knitting in the round and go, go, go. I didn't put any waist shaping in, so you can see just goes straight down. It sucks in a bit right now because of the ribbing at the bottom. I did, however, do the short rows in the back. So that just lifts the back up a little bit. So when you wear it, it goes down a little bit further in the front and a little bit up on the back of your neck. Gives you a little bit more room in your shoulder blades. I'm not very well endowed in the front, so I find that I definitely need that extra room in the back, just to make it ease of wear. This is a little bit oversized, so it's going to be so cozy in the winter. I'm so excited. The yarn is Loops and Thread Impeccable in their Tweed, Aran Tweed. Loops and Thread Impeccable Tweed in Aran Tweed. Whew, but I do love how it turned out. And yeah, first finished object. Done. All right, and I have 2 more finished objects, but they've already been gifted. And I don't even think you guys saw these or heard about them at all. Every year for my kids' teachers, I make them something. And generally it's knitting, sometimes it's sewing, depending on what I feel like. This year I decided to make a couple close-fitting cowls because it does get cold here in the winter, and it's nice to have that kind of a closer one that can kind of snuggle into your neck. I had been looking at had some Caron's Pantone sets. So they have like a set of colors. One of them was just gray. And yeah, anyway, it's 100% acrylic, so they can wash it. It doesn't matter. They're not going to ruin it. And what I did was I took the frostberry color and the plain gray color. So there was 5 balls, 5 little mini skeins in each set. And I put the frostberries was like a pinky purple kind of color, fuchsia color. And it had a teal color and then 3 different blue gradients. And then the gray was just gray. So I took 3 of the grays and then the pinky purple, whatever fuchsia color and the teal color and put them into one set. And then I took the 3 grays and put 3 blues. Can't keep my color straight today. 3 blues and then put gray between them. I will put in pictures because that's going to be more helpful than what I'm explaining. I used the pattern called, sorry, I'm looking at my notes because I can't remember anything because it was so long ago that I made the Clems Run Cowl by Jocelyn Tunney. And I'll link to it down below along with everything else I talk about. But yes, that was a really fun, quick knit. They're not a bulky weight, but they're almost a bulky weight. They're pretty thick and chunky, so hopefully it works out good and the teachers enjoy them. They're both happy to get them. So yeah, Cooper has had his teacher. This was his second year, so she got 2 cowls from me. And this is the first year Taylor's had this teacher, but she'll get her again next year. It happens often in the French program that they are, especially in the upper grades, their teachers get repeated because they're split classes and then they have to kind of combine them in a different way, and they often get the same teacher, so which is fine. We like their teachers. They're very good teachers and we're very happy with them. And I was very happy to gift them some nice cowls at the end of the year. So that is my 3 finished objects. Next up is works in progress. All right, for works in progress, I have a few things to show you for sure. Cast on a couple new things, been working really hard on a couple of them. First up, I'm going to talk about my Twinkle socks. I have not touched them. They are at the bottom of one of my project bags, and honestly, I just haven't even touched them. I think it's partly because I need the needles from Cooper's video game mitts in order to do them, so I'm like, well, I might as well just finish those and then I'll do the Twinkle socks. So maybe soon, I don't know, we'll see. Next up, I am going to talk about Cooper's video game mitts. Let's see, put all my stuff on the floor next to me today. I've made a bit of progress on these, so I'm working on the palm and thumb area. Yeah, just working away in the round. Not much progress, but some progress on those. They're really for in the winter. Like, he doesn't need them right now. It's not that cold downstairs because it's 45 degrees outside. Well, it's not currently today. It's actually kind of overcast, which is why I'm getting the good lighting from this side. I really should be facing the window, but I'm not. Different place today. I'm gonna see how the lighting goes. So this pattern is the Dream Fingerless Knits by Marsha Healey, and the yarn is Knit Picks Stroll in the Sprinkle Heather colorway. Yeah, he hasn't been asking about them much, but like I said, it's summer. He's not worried about his hands getting cold right now. But yep, making good progress on those. And he doesn't want them quite as long as the other ones that I made. So yeah, we'll see. If I hold it up to my hand, yeah. Probably got another half an inch before I do the thumb. So yeah, there we go. Just round and around and around. But yeah, he's gonna love them. Just need to get moving on them. I find with the sock weight yarn, I have a harder time knitting without looking at them. Or like, we've been watching a lot of movies in the basement, and then it's dark in our theater room, and if I drop, and then I end up dropping a stitch, and then I have to turn on the lights, and everyone's annoyed at me. Not visibly, but you know, not vocally. But yeah, so then I just find that I don't work on fingering weight knitting when I'm in the dark, because then I end up dropping a stitch, and then I have to do something about that. So yeah, but those will get done at some point. Next up, I have my R&R hoodie. And I can't remember if I had cast the song last time or not, because it was so long ago since I recorded. But I have made a ton of progress. Let's see if I can pull this out without knocking everything over. Okay, there we go. Dun, dun, dun. See if I can hold this up without, there's yarn everywhere. Okay, so this is how much progress I've made on the body. So it's got the mistake rib at the bottom. There are pockets, like a on the front there. I don't know if you can see, but there's the pocket there. It's hard to, and there's one on the other side. So these are the fronts. If I hold them up like this, maybe, I don't know. There's the pockets on the front. So yeah, made quite a bit of progress on that. And then I've started the sleeves. So that's about up to my elbow on the sleeves, just before my elbow. So not bad, not bad. I am doing them 2 at a time because then my increases match, mostly, when I remember. Like I've said before, I use the pre-counted stitch count method from Jasmin of the Knitmore Girls, which is an audio podcast, and you can find them at theknitmoregirls.com. So basically you count up how many times you're going to increase, you pull out that many stitch markers, and then you mark them each time, and also then you know how many rounds since your last increase, and when you're done the stitch marker, you're done your increases. So I have one more, got one more at the bottom here. This orange one is my last increase, which will be in a couple rows, and then it's just knit, knit, knit the rest of the arm, join with the body, like so, knit the top. Done, no problem. Easy peasy. Almost done, right? Oh my goodness. String everywhere. So let's go over the details. The R&R hoodie is by Tanis Lavallee. Her patterns are so great, so well explained, and so clear in the directions, and you know, enough detail to keep you interested, but not so much detail that you're like, oh my gosh, this is so complicated. Yeah, so I'm super excited about this sweater because it's just gonna be a nice, easy wearing sweater. I am gonna have to put a zipper in it. I've been debating on what to do, but I think I'm just gonna put a zipper in it. I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna get a nice zipper that fits perfectly. I'm gonna take the time to do a proper stitch, do some grosgrain ribbon on the inside so it's nice and even, and I think I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna just do it. The yarn is Knit Picks Mighty Stitch in Mulberry. It's the same yarn that I used for my driftwood, which I do believe I've worn on the podcast before. Yeah, it's good. It's a mostly acrylic yarn. Again, for a nice sweater that I'm going to wear a lot to work and around the house, it's nice to be able to throw it in the washing machine when you need to. So yeah, yeah, it's a good sweater. I started knitting this mostly because of the Happee Knitting Cardi Along, which is happening till the end of July. I don't know if I'm gonna finish my sweater or not. We'll see. Or maybe it's the 15th. I don't know. I doubt I'll finish it, but I'm gonna give it a good shot. I've been knitting a lot on that. So yeah, so you can search you can search the hashtag happeecardimal, or you can look on her YouTube channel, the Happee Knitting Podcast. Goodness, my voice is all over the place today. So that is it for that sweater, and I have one more work in progress. The last one is my foolproof. So I'm hosting the foolproof summer cowl. So far, the only ones I've seen are my one friend who lives locally, and I have started ours. And she's using a Gauge Dye Works 2-ply, and she's just using one color and making it a bit thinner, I think. But the same kind of pattern. And I'm using 2 colors. So I've made 2 other ones of these, and if I remember, I will put some pictures in at some point. And yeah, so here it is. Dun, dun, dun. So I'm being a bit more even with the striping, but also not completely regular with the striping. So yeah, this is how you start it. One of the great things about this pattern is that you can carry the yarn in behind and you don't even see it. I don't even see where it is. It's all, this is not it. It's all in there. You can't see it. No one notices. So you don't have to weave in a million ends. You do have your cast on ends, the beginning ends, which I should probably just weave in. And then you'll have an end, you'll have the other end when you cast off. But yeah, the rest is just knitting. Just knitting, change colors when you want to. So I've started where you go, so you knit the triangle and then you knit out this way and then back around and meet up with the other side of the triangle and knit them together. You're good to go. So yeah, there we are. The pattern again is Foolproof by Louise Zass-Bangham. And the yarns that I'm using, so this blue and purple yarn is the Upsuke Merino sock, which was hand dyed by the owner of the Seaside Button and Yarn. I think that's what it's called. And I picked that up when I was there in Souk, which is on Vancouver Island. And then the silver is Sea Turtle Fiber Arts in the Ridley sock, and the colorway is called Silver. And it's a bit variegated. It's hard to tell when you're doing it like this, but you know, a little bit darker, a little bit lighter, but I love how this is working up, and I'm gonna get so much wear out of this one too. So I love the double loop cowls, and yeah, that one's a nice easy one just to zip back and forth on. And I think that's everything for works in progress. So next up, events. All right, events. So I've already talked about 2 events that I'm doing this summer, the Happee Cardi Make Along, and then my own event, the Foolproof Summer. And I'm doing 2 more, I think, 2 that I'm going to talk about today. How about that? The first one is Stash Dash. I've done this one for many years. It's hosted by Laura and Leslie of the Knit Girls, and I will link to their website down below and you can check it out there. They are hosting the forums on an app and website called Discord, yeah, it's working pretty good. And the reason they're doing that is because Ravelry is not accessible to everybody. So they're trying to make it available to everybody and be considerate that way, which is very nice. Also, it's kind of nice to have it in a different place that I don't feel overwhelmed. Sometimes going into Ravelry with so many boards to look at, and it's like, okay, well, I'm going to spend some time doing this, whereas I can just pop on Discord and check out a couple of the channels, and you know, you don't have to do the whole thing. That's how I work anyway. If I'm going to go onto Ravelry and look at the forums, I'm going to look at all of them, and I need the time to do it. So Stash Dash started on May the 28th and goes till August 31st. And basically, it's a competition against yourself. You set yourself a goal, and then you try to achieve it. I have decided to set myself the 5K goal. It's very lofty. There's no problems if you don't make it though. So I'm going to trying my best, figure it out. I think you know, it's only the beginning of July. I've still got like a good 8 weeks. I could do it. I mean, I finished the Flax sweater. I'm more than halfway done on the R&R hoodie. I plan to knit myself something else big, and I've got the Foolproof and some socks and Cooper's video game mitts. We'll see how many things I get done. I'm just gonna be a knitting machine. So that's super fun. And the other one that I'm going to talk about today is the Splash Pad Party, which is finishing up at the end of July. Basically, you get entered into a draw for anything that you finish during this knit along, and it's all like very summer themed. There's a bunch of sponsors for it, and they, it's all about knitting outside by the pool or the lake or up a mountain or whatever you want to do in the summer to participate. They're having a couple extra little events in there. I think right now this week from July 4th to 11th, there is the red, white, and blue, which is an American thing for Independence Day, which was July the 4th yesterday. So, but yeah, you can check out all of the information on her website, which I will also link down below, which is Down Cellar Studios. So I think that's it for events. If I think of anything else, I'll add it in, but I think that's it. So next up, and the last one, is chatter. So on to chatter. So many things to talk about, so many that I don't even really remember half of the stuff that happened in the last month. I know I've been reading the Bridgerton series. I've read 6 and 7, and now I'm on book 8, which is the last book of the main series. And then there's a couple novellas and prequels and other things to add in there. So I'm just going to keep going with that series because I'm enjoying it. We've been spending a lot of time outside, other than when it was 45 degrees outside. But beat the heat, go to the beach, go up the mountain. We've been out quadding. We've been, all over the place doing lots of fun things outside. And I will put some pictures in at the end and some little video clips of a bunch of different things that I have been doing. I do believe I took a little bit of video of winding up the yarn for my foolproof. And I don't know if I brought it over, but I haven't talked about it yet. I did wind up the yarn for my husband's socks. This is Mustache in the Bounty Hunter colorway. And I wound up these ones, which is also Mustache. And this is the Tokyo Go-Go. It's like a rainbow, like a bluey green, bluey gray, and then kind of a rainbow-ish color, but I'm gonna make myself some shorties with those. When I'm done the 5 other things I'm working on. That's how it works. So I have some video of that. I've got some video of all the different things we've been doing with the kids. And they have finished school for the year. My son has graduated from elementary school and will be in middle school next year. I have a couple pictures of him because of the COVID protocols that are happening still. We had to do a drive-through graduation. I mean, it was pretty fun. We didn't have to sit through any boring award ceremonies, so that was good. And we went out for dinner afterwards with the grandparents, so that all worked out good. There was a thunderstorm that night, so that was fun. But, it all worked out good in the end, so I'll put in some pictures of that, and I think a little video clip of him walking down the red carpet. We've been to some friends' backyards. At that point, we still had to be in our small bubbles, so we just went to we just have 2 families that we kind of hang out with, and so we just did that. But we are opening up more here in BC now, so it's not, if you've been double vaccinated, it's not required for you to wear a mask in a store anymore. I get my second shot this afternoon, which is why I'm recording today on a Monday, and there's nobody else in the house. My husband decided to go out with his buddy. They're out at an outdoor shooting range. My kids are at volleyball camp for the morning. The house is quiet and mine, so here we are. So that's about it. School's finished. We did have some family come and visit. You're able to travel within the province again, so that was really nice to have Mike's brother come up from Chilliwack and his family, and just had a good time. Just doing lots of fun things. I can't think of anything else particularly to talk to you about, except for my mug. I got this for my birthday. So I drink tea all the time. I don't drink coffee. So this says Tea Freak. Hit me with your best pot. So that's it for today. That's all I have, and I hope to see you next time. Bye. recording again. What do I want to start with? Where to start? Where to